but they just don't know. People seen it, but they just don't know. Come on, baby, let the good time roll.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, aka the King of Boston, and today we are back for episode 10 of the Houston Rockets Association mode on NBA 2K14. You can see we have received some awards or honors from players on our team, and you can see Dwight Howard gets the Defensive Player of the Year. That's nice to see. He won it a couple times a couple years ago, but has not won it since, I believe, 2011. There's Mike Brown getting Coach of the Year. That was surprising. And you can see the All-NBA first team and stuff like that. Russell Westbrook, 35 points a game. That's insane. But we do end up getting two players on All-NBA second team, James Harden and Dwight Howard. Nice to see. And you can take a look at All-NBA third team as well. Rudy Gay making it. That was interesting to see as well as Al Jefferson, two players that I would not expect to see there. But you can see Dwight Howard, All-NBA first team, or All-Defensive first team, I should say, as well as Anthony Davis, LaMarcus Aldridge, amongst a few others. All-Defensive second team had some interesting names on it as well, like Thomas Robinson and Marcin Gortat. All-Rookie first team and All-Rookie second team. We didn't get anyone on those two teams. But that's pretty much going to wrap up that. So we're going to get into the playoff bracket right here. We're going up against the Portland Trailblazers in round one. And for the most part, the playoffs kind of were what you might expect out of real life. As you can see, we go up 3-1. The only thing that was interesting to see was the Nuggets all the way at the 2 seed. But in terms of the West, everything else was kind of sort of normal. Like, I could see all the other stuff happening, except for the Nuggets getting the 2 seed. But in the East, it was a little bit different. The Cavs were up there at like the 3 seed, I believe, after they won 54 games. They ended up with the 3rd or 4th best record in basketball, actually, but lost out in the division to the Chicago Bulls. But other than that, I mean, the playoffs weren't too unrealistic or anything like that. But we go up 3-0, the Portland Trailblazers, a team that we just, quite frankly, overmatch. And it's a similar team, in my opinion, to the Rockets in that their two best players are kind of like a guard and big man combination, with Damian Lillard and LaMarcus Aldridge kind of being the James Harden and Dwight Howard of the team. And then they have some role players around it. You got a very defensive-minded center in Robin Lopez. You got shooters and defenders in Nicholas Batum and in Wesley Matthews. I'm a really big fan of Nicholas Batum, but that's besides the point. But the thing that the Trailblazers did improve on in this past offseason was their bench, and that could propel them to a playoff spot, quite frankly. A lot of people are thinking that, but the David Lee post fadeaway was nice to see. Dwight Howard on the boards, giving it to Chandler Parsons, who pulls up with the little floater, and he knocks that one down. So it's 11-7 early on. Now it's 15-9. Damian Lillard with the ball, trying to go to work on Jeremy Lin, who I did insert back into the starting role for this series. We'll see if that continues. He played okay today. It's not a noticeable difference when he plays or when Beverly plays. So just kind of for that simple matter, I'm probably going to continue to start Jeremy Lin, but we'll see. Mo Williams in for the game now for the Portland Trailblazers, a man that I was kind of surprised to see not get signed until late in free agency. He signed for very cheap too. He's a guy that I wanted the Golden State Warriors to go after originally, and I kind of would have preferred them to get Mo Williams instead of Tony Douglas. But I understand that Tony Douglas is a much better defender. Nonetheless, here we go. That's going to end off the first quarter, and we're going to head into the second quarter with a lead of 25-16, up by 9. Doing well so far. Patrick Beverly out there covering Mo Williams. Almost intercepts that pass, but they give it to CJ McCollum, and CJ McCollum having a dandy of a game so far. The first-year guard out of Lehigh. And you can see Patrick Beverly trying to go to work on Mo Williams right here. Gives it to Reggie Williams, and Reggie Williams, he did not play too much today. I put him a little bit further up in the rotation, so now he's like the 9th man off the bench. But in his limited playing time, he had a fantastic game for us. CJ McCollum once again, though, for 3. But for some reason, the Trailblazers didn't play a lot of CJ McCollum in the second half. David Lee misses the post hook, but Dwight Howard is there, and they end up getting called for goaltending. So it's 39-32. Here's McCollum once again. We're kind of sagging off here. Makes a nice move, pulls up, and knocks that one down. A great shot out of CJ McCollum. Now 39. 234. You can see he's got 14 points on 6 of 7 shooting, but he would not score again in this ball game. There's Earl Watson. I imagine McCollum might have gotten hurt, and I just didn't see it or something. I'm not really too sure, but he just did not play it from this point on. But nonetheless, Damian Lillard draws the foul right there. He's going to the free throw line. You can see he puts the first one up, and although that was behind James Harden's head, he ends up getting that one to go. Puts the second one up. It is good as well, and they've cut it back down to a 1-point game here towards the end of the first half. Nicholas Batum looking for Damian Lillard on the break, dishes it off to, I believe that looks like Wesley Matthews, and Matthews, I believe that was, puts it in. So 42-41, James Harden last second three does not go, and the Trailblazers are going to take a lead into the half as they're up by 1 point, trying to stay alive in this series. At this point, they don't have really a great shot at winning it, but there's always self-pride and all that good stuff, and plus anything can happen as we've seen in the past. But nice floater from Damian Lillard. Here's James Harden putting up the three. He's going to end up missing that one, but Dwight is there on the boards, and he is just too big sometimes. The Trailblazers do not have the biggest front court. Robin Lopez is going to help in that kind of department, but Myers Leonard is really not that good. He's just a big body, and then Thomas Robinson's a bit undersized. LaMarcus Aldridge, I don't know if he's really a true center. I'd call him a power forward more than a center, but nonetheless, James Harden with another three ball right there. They just left him wide open, and we've tied the game back up, so it's 48-all at this point. Pick and roll, Jeremy Lin and David Lee. I'm looking for Harden once again, though. Free throw line extended, and he knocks that one down. A huge three from the three-point line, I should say. I don't know what I was trying to go for there, but Robin Lopez, nice high-low pass to a wide-open LaMarcus Aldridge, and LaMarcus Aldridge puts that one in. LaMarcus Aldridge is often called one of the most underrated players in the NBA. He's a very talented big man who consistently puts up like 20 points and 8 rebounds, numbers around that mark, really each and every season, but he never gets a lot of attention because he plays up in Portland. But one thing that just drives my interest personally with LaMarcus Aldridge is he's not a very efficient big man. His shooting percentage is below 50%, which for a big man is not that good, and it seems like we're in an age in basketball where everything is so efficiency driven, but not a lot of people like to point that out in this game. But nonetheless, he's still a very talented player. He's probably he's easily one of the top 5 power forwards in the NBA. But Robin Lopez finishing that one home right there. That was a sneaky good pickup by the Portland Trailblazers, who acquired Robin Lopez in the three-way sign-and-trade deal with Tyreek Evans. A huge poster for James Harden right there, as he has struggled in the first half, but he's starting to heat up here in the third quarter, and we have a 5-point lead. Check out the Damian Lillard post fadeaway, though, doing that little Kyrie Irving move, and he knocks that one down. That wasn't a post fadeaway, it was just a regular fadeaway. But nonetheless, we're going to take a 3-point lead into the fourth quarter. 64-61 is your score. Another good game defensively for us. Even though we struggle a lot in the simulation with defense, I seem to do well defensively with this team. I'm usually able to hold opponents under 50% shooting. Jeremy Lin for 3. Just too much space for him right there. Alan Kravitz got to do a better job of not sagging off with his off-ball defense. Here's Mo Williams trying to get something going for his team. He's going to drive with his left and finish that one over Isaiah Cannon. A nice shot by Mo Williams. Here's Jeremy Lin giving it to Chandler Parsons, being covered by LaMarcus Aldridge. Back to Jeremy Lin for the 22-footer, and he will knock that one down. So a nice jump shot, and it's a 6-point lead for the Houston Rockets, trying to protect this lead all the way into the conference semifinals. Chandler Parsons with a nice little mid-range. I've got to do a better job of getting Chandler Parsons involved in the offense. He does not get a lot of shots or a lot of plays called for him, but he seems to knock down the shots when I go for it with him. And there he goes with the nice and-one layup right there. Chandler Parsons is really one of the best role players in the NBA, and it's nice to see him having a bit of a better game than he usually does, just because of a lack of touches or whatever. But nice layup from Mo Williams there, trying to keep his team in it. Jeremy Lin for 3 once again, and Lin's sanity, finding the open looks and knocking them down as it's back up to a 10-point lead with just 5 minutes to play. Here we go now, Wesley Matthews with the ball, trying to drive in on Isaiah Cannon. Gives it to LaMarcus Aldridge, and Aldridge being covered by David Lee. You know they're going to take advantage of that matchup whenever they can. So it's an 8-point lead at this point. Aldridge with another rebound to Wesley Matthews. Out on the break to Mo Williams. Williams is going to give it to Nicholas Batum, and Nick Batum slams that one down and one. And just like that, it would be down to a 6-point game, but now it's up to a 9-point game. Beverly, nice bounce pass to Isaiah Cannon, who gets up there, slams it down, and one, and that looks like it might be the dagger. So it's back down to a 9-point lead at this point, but we get the rebound. Dwight Howard being double teamed, gives it to David Lee for the jumper, and he knocks it down with just 1:50 to play, an 11-point lead. This one looks all but over. Damian Lillard with the ball, trying to keep his team in him, trying to get in the paint, gives it to LA, and Aldridge knocks it down with the right hand off the glass. But it would be too little too late, as we end up winning 91-83, an 8-point victory, and the #1 seeded Houston Rockets will be advancing to the Western Conference semifinals, where they will be taking on the winner of the Clippers versus Oklahoma City Thunder series. That is going to be a really good series. Two teams that a lot of people think might get the 1 seed in the West playing in the 4-5 matchup. That's going to be a tough second round no matter who we play, especially because we all know, if you guys have been around for my Utah Jazz Association, we all know how good the Thunder are in 2K, and the Clippers, you always got to watch out for them. They were, I believe, maybe the only team to beat us in one of the regular season episodes, so it's going to be tough nonetheless, and it's going to be a very entertaining series. I'm looking forward to it. But Here we go. The player of the game ended up being, I believe, Chandler Parsons. No, they're going to give it to Dwight Howard. Okay, I was confused for a sec. It's like Chandler Parsons didn't have that good of a game, but Dwight Howard gets the player of the game. He came up really big in San Antonio in the last regular season episode, and he came up big again today, getting a couple blocks. I think he ended up with like 4 blocks. Good rebounding numbers as always. Put up 18 points a game this year, which was good to see. So his offensive game is still pretty solid. You can see Damian Lillard puts up 20 and 5 with 4 steals. CJ McCollum, like, he only played 8 minutes. He didn't score after he scored that 14th point or whatever. I was very confused. They gave a lot of second half minutes to Mo Williams, which I don't know. I mean, I guess playoff experience. But James Harden, rather inefficient day. Howard, 12 and 13, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. Really just a jack of all trades today. But nonetheless, that's going to pretty much do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. And as always, I'm out. Peace.